Greetings, family. Hey, man, I just happy to be back here at the USHA. Uh,
Village.
you know,
The fire pit.
the pit, what is
Palapa.
Palapa.
Palapa, Palapa pit.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I be forgetting that shit. But anyway, hey, we glad to have you guys back on this Tuesday, and we're gonna be having Isaiah join us in a minute. He's here. It's always a pleasure to have him here. Because,
Isaiah of Dietary Resolutions.
he's a ball of energy. He inspires me sometimes.
Yeah.
Just watching him. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have him on. But we all glad to be here. We all glad we made it through another weekend to come together and share experiences. You know, me and I've been enjoying our little weekend, doing absolutely what we want to do. And I like having that time to be able to do what I want to do, not do what somebody wants me to do. You know, and a lot of us haven't gotten there yet, but hey, it's up to you.
It's a real place.
It's a real place. Hey, and we all supposed to really be there because nobody was here to be lord over by anybody. We was all here to be free beings, expressing ourselves the way the universe created us to express ourselves. Because we all have expressions that we all can appreciate when we expressing genuinely what is our expression as far as the whole scheme of things, being here on this earth at this time, being a part of the universe that's, look, infinite. So, we have to appreciate every moment that we have here. Me and Isaac was looking last week at this documentary. They're talking about the Blue Zone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, these folks living to be 105. I mean, just jumping around, doing stuff like they in their 60s. Living to be 120. I mean, just living long, healthy lives. Man, to be able to live a life and enjoy it for that length of time means that you have grasped something about reality that a lot of folks are not grasping, and that is your well-being is in your own hands, not in the hands of those who you call your doctor or your friends or your family. It's in our hands. It's in our hands individually because we are individuals, and yet we are all connected on a level that most folks don't even realize exists.
And it wasn't really about them just reaching old age, what we consider old age, but they were in their centennials, right past 100, but they were still living. They were still moving. They were still dancing. They were still smiling. They wasn't in the wheel being wheeled into the, like they still had a vigorous amount of life in them.
And that's the gift that we have being here in this time, is that we have the gift to live our life extended. The more you extend your life out, the more knowledge you acquire and the more wisdom you're going to demonstrate. I see no greater joy in living than acquiring the knowledge that's needed for you to understand the power that lives inside of you. Why would you not want to reach that part of yourself that represents the part of everything that you can say generates power? Why would we not want to do that for ourselves? I see no greater challenge on this planet than that for myself, because we are together, because we know that our union represents the joining of forces to create power. She represents the female force, I represent the male force. And when we bring those two things together in what you can say in harmony, we can produce power. That goes for everybody. Mm-hmm. It's not designated to no specific nobody.
A certain like special person or something. Like everyone has it.
We all do.
Everyone can acquire it. Everyone contain it. It is available to us all. Yeah.
It's just that we have to have the desire, but not only the desire to have it, the willingness to put the time and energy in to get it. When we decide we want something, be it a car, a house, a radio, I don't care what it is. Once you decide you want it, your energy goes into that. You tell everybody, yeah, I'm going to get this. Did you see this? I'm getting ready to get that. Our new iPhone. We do whatever it takes for us to get it because we want it. Why wouldn't we do that for our own self? Why wouldn't we do whatever it takes to reach within yourself and pull the power out that is who we are? But we settle on being what? Engineers, doctors, bums, workers. We settle. We settle. Not ever accepting who or what we really are. And that is an expression of the universe, its very self. So, we've been learning a lot about a lot of nothing. It's time that we learn about something that can change our life, man. Look, if it's not about us changing our life, those trees, no matter how old that tree get, it is still changing. It is not the same tree it was yesterday. We are the only beings, I think, on this whole planet that seek to be the same. I've always been like this. I'm going to stay like this. What kind of madness is that? Because we're all here to grow. We're all here to evolve, to bring the best out in yourself. When you see an act that you perform, that you, your own self, go, you know, that was messed up. It's time to re-examine why that act even existed. What do that take? That takes us examining ourselves. Man, we got to start looking at ourselves for real. In light of being the best true being you can be. Not being the best John or Jerome or Javier or Letitia. I don't care what the name is. It's not about being that. It's about finding out what you are. And when you discover that, hey, you're on a whole new journey. Why? Because then every day is an exploration. Why is it an exploration? Because you're constantly exploring other avenues of yourself. Why are you reacting to certain things? Why you don't react to certain things? You start examining yourself in a real way. Because that's the only thing that's going to promote change. You know, I mean, the top people have good verbiage. They can talk the shit, but they ain't very many walking the shit.
But you know, and what that looks like in the average person's everyday life is making choices, right? You know, finding support and information around change and what you want to do, like change in eating, right? Learning about what, you know, what's good for your body, what works for you, what makes your body run that extra mile. It looks like change in relationships, the people you have around you, and you decide, you know what, this just isn't working for me for growth. If I want to stay here and just be on some BS, then, you know, I'm a kid. But, you know, sometimes it's cutting those cords, cutting relationships that aren't helping us to move. Like, it looks real. I mean, it's everyday things in our life. And those choices that add up to, you know, the sum total of who we say we are and who we purport ourselves to be. So in that learning, and that's why people make it to USHA, right? You make it to somewhere, you make it to Jamaica or Panama or places that have healing villages because you started yourself on that quest. So it's not that, you know, everybody is void of change. There, you know, we have to recognize those small, you know, steps and movements towards change.
Hey, it couldn't have been no better stage. I agree. They just like the Honduranians here. I mean, a lot of them grew up around plants and they still don't appreciate the environment that is conducive to life itself.
Yeah.
Why? Because it becomes ordinary. How do your environment become ordinary? Because you become ordinary. When you stop being ordinary, your environment changes. Everything got to change. Everything changes with us. When we really accept that we are the ones that's sailing this ship that we call our life, then we'll be more responsible about how we act, what we commit to, how we express ourselves. Because remember, everything is connected. That messed up thought that you have about somebody that jumped in front of you in their car, that's the thought that you put out there. Everything that we put out there, we are responsible for, to the very thoughts that we have. When we become aware of that, oh my God, the beauty that your life unfolds before your very eyes. Because we don't see what's really behind the veil. What veil am I talking about? The veil of the idea that has been given to us by society. That veil is what covers our real sight. But once we allow ourselves to be ourselves, we begin to perceive and see again the way that nature and this universe created us to perceive. Not clouded by what we've been taught. Not clouded by how our mother was. Not clouded by what my uncle did to me. Not clouded by any of that. Because all those things are just events along a path. How you deal with that event means everything. Because I'm going to say this, and I don't know how more clear I can say this. There's nothing that happens to you for your detriment. Every single thing that happened to you for your benefit. And when you can find a benefit in everything that happens to you, then you start seeing more and more benefits as you're moving in this world. But when everything you see is, oh, why is this happening to me? Oh, who's doing it? You're doing it to you. Until you recognize that, you're going to keep doing it to you. Can I say it any clearer?
No, I mean, that was pretty clear. But, that's a hard thing to understand when there are people and forces outside of you that make that thing happen. You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
So it's like, I'm not doing this, but you thinking it, and then it shows up in your life, and you be like, where the hell did that come from? Well, and you invited this person in to do it. But that's a hard lesson to learn, but the lesson is there nonetheless.
It's a necessary for us to, we done seen all the challenges that we've had as a nation of people through civil rights, through marching, through all these things, and yet our position remains the same. Why? Because we keep using the same methods that's keeping us right here.
The definition of insanity.
When we realize that the methods that we're using are not to the benefit of the whole, then our methods change. And what methods am I talking about? I'm talking about the methods of us becoming aware of ourselves. As we become more aware of ourselves, you know what creates in us? A unity amongst ourselves. Mm-hmm. Instead of the schism that's always keeping statically us apart. Because as long as we're like that, trust me, we all suffer.
And in your personal life, it looks like this. The thoughts. Like a woman will say, all men cheat. Then what do you think you're going to attract to you? You haven't recognized any other man. So how does that man exist when you say all men cheat? All men don't cheat. And maybe that's what you've experienced and what you've seen the people around you experience. But there is another experience, and you have to call it to you. Yeah. Another thing is in your personal life are no jobs. There are no jobs out here. Ain't no money. Everybody's broke. Then you're going to call that to you when the reality is we see a lot of people living pretty damn good. Why isn't it you? And why haven't you made a choice for that to be you?
Exactly. Hey, our reality, as much as people just throw that term around, it's reality. How we perceive ourselves is what we're going to manifest in this world. So the more we perceive ourselves as beings of power, the more we're going to manifest power. I mean, people think that they gain power. They can, I'm going to command me to get some Gucci, and I'm going to command you to have all this money in the bank, and all this silliness that got you where you at in the first place. What we really need to be seeking is to understand who we are as beings of light. We are beings of light, even though we express ourselves on this physical dimension in these bodies. That's not what we are.
We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And that's what encapsulates this body. That's why there's a such thing as death. Because once the spirit leaves the body, then it's rendered
useless.
Just as the dust.
Yet, again, that can be overridden too.
Okay.
No, real. That can be
No, I
overridden too.
know.
Because death exists in a state that we find ourselves in, but when we elevate ourselves to another state, there are states within our reach that death don't even exist.
But it doesn't matter. The physical body is not a part of that.
But
right?
The physical body get changed into light.
Oh.
That's what the physical body has the ability to do. Because remember this. Everything has 3 phases. Solid phase, it has a liquid phase, and it has a gaseous phase. Everything. It's the energy that's given to anything that changes the phases of that thing. If I put enough heat energy into this rock, it turns into molten rock. It starts flowing. Put more energy into it, it starts evaporating. So we are no different than anything else on this planet.
That's a great example.
When we begin to really grasp the reality of what we are, like I say, we start changing everything about ourselves. Because the change that we want to see, we got to become. The change that I wanted to see, I became. I became that individual. I'd be like, I want to meet somebody that got knowledge, that can help me, that can I used to always say that shit. The spirit was like, you do have somebody. And it was the spirit within me that I decided to follow, and it took me to where I am right now. Wow. Where seeing is what it showed me life is all about. Not looking, but seeing. Because we don't just see with our eyes. We've been taught so many lies that we believe. When you believe the lie has to become concrete in your life. Why? Because we are all agents, like I say, of our own reality. So when you allow something that is not beneficial to your growth to be part of your daily existence, then you deny yourself the ability to elevate yourself. That's why a lot of people be like, I'm glad the way that I am. I'm never happy with the way I am. I shouldn't be the same individual that I was yesterday today, because we're in constant flux, man. Everything. When we accept that we are in this flux, then we give ourselves permission. I'm going to say it again. We give ourselves permission to change. You have to give yourself permission to change, Because it's not going to just come because you think it. Just because you say you want it. No, it comes because we give ourselves.
And for those who are totally satisfied with themselves, to you, it's okay to become a better version of even who you think you are right now.
Yeah, because who we think we are is always this physical expression. So yes, there's always room for growth until we realize that we are not the physical expression.
Yeah.
that we are that energetic
Hey,
form.
no, go ahead.
We are that energetic form that lives inside, that animates this body. That's why when this body do decay and drop off, that which makes you is still with you. So that's where knowledge comes in. Knowledge tells us that if we don't cling to things that represents this material world, this material realm, we free ourselves more to have the ability to leave this realm without ever having to come back here. As beautiful as I know this earth is, I know there's places that's 100 times more beautiful if you want to make comparisons. But in reality, there's nothing to compare to nothing else, because everything is its own thing, just like we are. So I encourage us to, really put to the page and start doing work that is going to help us move forward. Whatever that work might be, if it's meditating, if it's taking long walks, just do things on your own accord that's going to help you to become more familiar with you.
Journal, start being intentional about your dreams. For those who don't have a great memory, write it down as you wake up. Become intentional about your space, about the people in it, your movements, where you going and why. Just becoming aware, right? It's part of the stalking yourself.
I always say this, and it says a lot for our ancestors, because our ancestors was all about one thing: mastering awareness. They was masters of awareness. They learned what it was to be the expression of themselves, how the universe wanted to express it, put it that way. So, we have the same tools, the same bodies, the same access to knowledge. It's all up to us to what we do with it. Do we want to keep, going out calling ourselves, having fun to these little halls of degradation, I call them? Because people say, oh, I got to go have fun. What does that represent? Going to the beach? What do we represent? Going to Disneyland or going to Six Flags or whatever you consider fun? Is that what your fun consists of? Because fun to me, the ultimate expression of my feeling good about myself is to be always seeking the greatest part of myself. To express the greatest part of myself. I'm always pushing towards that in every moment. No matter what the situation outside of just physical expression may look like, that what I'm pushing towards remains the same. So I may react to certain situations, but I never react in a way that's going to bring detriment to me or those parties that I'm reacting. Why? Because I know that is never an advantageous situation for neither party. I'm always looking to elevate, so I'm going to always do what I can to help them to elevate themselves by what? Not engaging on that low vibrational frequency. When we act in certain ways, we got to realize that, we're choosing to lower our own vibrational frequency. We always want to be at the highest frequency we can find within those channels and within ourselves, so that we can always be the highest expression of ourselves, man. That brings you joy. When you go out to accomplish something, you accomplish it, that gives you a feeling of accomplishment, of satisfaction. Why? Because you sought to do something and you completed it. That goes with everything that we do. So when we reach in to enhance ourselves, to bring ourselves to a higher state, look, it's challenging. The challenge is going to be there, but trust me, The confidence that's needed to get there, you already have it, or you wouldn't even start the journey. So even when you feel like, oh man, I failed, you can't fail. You still living. All you gotta do is continue going and continue going in the direction that's gonna benefit you. I felt many a time that I had failed in the pursuits that I was always pursuing. I was like, man, it is. Yet here I am, still going at it, and feel good about it.
So now we're about like midway through, and here's where we like to open it up to people here. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like to add, we'd love to
On the
talk
Instagram
about
family,
it.
I always ask y'all, you guys got topics out y'all want me to talk about, feel free to DM me and let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys touched on things that I'm going through personally, so you covered everything, and I needed this knowledge while I, being here. I wanted to take in some knowledge, and yeah, you touched on everything that I'm personally going through. So
Well,
That's cool, isn't it cool when it's always when the vibe is right where it needs to be?
Right.
You know?
I needed that.
Yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm glad that we can be, here to assist and anybody who's trying to move forward. That's what we come here on Tuesdays and Thursdays for. Man, I don't particularly always feel like getting my ass up coming over here, but I get my ass up because why? I made a commitment.
Yeah.
So I do it. And
I love coming. I love sharing.
I do too. And a lot of times she asks me what we're going to talk about. I be like, shit, I don't know.
You don't give me time to prepare or nothing. I would like prepare time, but no.
And and it's always good because we all benefit from it. It's not like I'm saying this to you, to anybody, and excluding myself. No, I am knee deep in it.
Yeah.
Why? Because as I speak, those challenges is going to come to me, and I got to show that what I spit out my mouth is the reality that I'm walking. Because if you think that you're going to speak out your mouth and it's not going to come back to test you, then you are deluding yourself for real. But that's what happens with a lot of people. They say, oh, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do this, and I'm this, and I'm that, and I can do it. And then when the challenge comes, I'm not going to say they're not equipped. They're not up for the challenge. They see the challenge as a detriment instead of seeing that challenge as just what it is, a challenge to move ahead.
No, things become paralyzing, and we've always known that you're responsible for what you know.
Exactly.
So you know a bunch of stuff, and you learn and you seeking knowledge, then you can rest assured it's going to show up in your life in some kind of way. And again, these things don't show up to break us down. They come so we can keep progressing and moving on. They come to make us who we say we want to be.
Exactly.
So we got to take it and be like, okay, that hurt a little bit.
A little bit my ass.
I
had to
like
hurt a whole lot.
take-
I be like, oh my God. Hey, but you know what? I always know that I have the ability to go through whatever.
Yeah.
That's innate in us, in all of us, because we know that we didn't put ourselves in this position to annihilate ourselves.
Yeah.
Not even slightly.
We were watching this. It's like a small series, whatever, on Netflix yesterday. It's called The Something or Mystery of Something Sugar. Henry Sugar. And I think I've encouraged you guys to watch it because the whole thing was about he taught himself.
It's on Netflix?
It's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
Okay.
He taught himself how to. He was a gambler. He taught himself how to see with his eyes closed. And was raking them. Millions.
Henry Sugar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's called The Extraordinary Life of
Extraordinary,
Henry.
yeah, something.
Sugar.
Henry Sugar. It's 39 minutes. It's not long, but the whole thing, and it's done in a weird way, But I like it, and
It gives little keys. Life is full of keys. If we pay attention, we can get them keys and open up doors that's been closed. And what doors are they that's closed? The doors that we close within our own minds. We don't realize how deep that hallway goes that we created on our journey through this space that we
Yeah.
expressing ourselves in.
Yeah.
And so it's little things like that that give you a key to open up a door. That way your reality becomes more expansive. And as we open those doors, our reality become more and more and more expansive.
Yeah.
Well, we got Isaiah that finally showed up. It's always good to have him, and I really wanted you to come here because I really wanted to say this, is that, Isaiah have been an inspiration to me because I know where he come from. I know where he started. I know when he was working at the school, he was complaining about that shit. I remember all that shit. Hey, and I remember when he said, hey, man, I want to do something for myself, and I straight encouraged him, do it. And now, I give you much respect.
Yes,
because
much
you
respect,
did it
yes.
and still doing it because what you represent is a legacy. That people think, oh, Sebi's gone, it's gone. No, it's not gone because we're creating something new. People always looking for things to be the same. Ain't nothing the same. We're dealing with a whole new arena
Things grow.
Of opportunities for us to help express the very thing that this healing village is all about, and that's healing. Healing comes in all kind of ways. It comes through crystals. It comes through herbs. It comes through, somebody could just say a certain word to somebody and then it changed them totally. So it's not just about the plants. Yet what he represents is, to me, an individual that went through the same troubles that I went through and still came out smelling like a rose because he's doing damn good. And I
don't know if he smelled like a rose. He smelled like a rose.
No. He right though.
Smelling good, looking pretty.
It's good. So go ahead, bro.
Nah, like my uncle said, it's about our legacy, and I watched his story. Where he chemist, crip, preacher, did it all, had us reading all Bible scriptures. We learned the Bible at a very young age where it was like, what are we going to do today? Can we not? We love Jesus, you know what I'm saying? But it's so much that I've learned from him, the growth of him being in jail, getting out, and still healing, making colognes, deodorants, one of the top chemists in Texas, moved to Texas and became the man. It's just certain things in our family that I watched, and he's been like a model to the family, in so many areas outside of my grandpa. So, this legacy lived through all of us, and the fact that he's been dedicating his time to do these lives every Tuesdays and Thursdays is incredible because he could be doing other things instead of giving the wisdom and the knowledge that he gives to each and every person here in this village. So, I appreciate it, and I know the family appreciate it because this is Junior. You know what I'm saying? This is not just anybody. This is Alfredo Jr. with the same name.
Yes.
So it's big shoes. So yeah, and his family, we really taking things to new heights because, like he said, his legacy. And my grandpa been gone for 7 years now, and it's every day I don't feel like he's gone because of social media. We keep him relevant. So, this legacy will definitely live because we still healing at the same time. With most companies, when the head of the company perishes, it's like the whole company perished. But no, we have picked up the torch and, really keeping his legacy alive. Even when there's so many copycats, people that's claiming to be and have this and that and the third, we the only ones still healing.
So we're going to have Simon on here on Thursday. So we can sit here and meet Isaiah, Simon, and because, we are the core of what's going on right now. And we're going to be the ones that's going to be making changes. And we invite all our family to come join us, yet, it's their choice again. Because we got to do what we got to do, and we're going to keep building this thing until, hey, this is going to be known for people coming here half dead and walking out full of life.
Fact.
Because that's what's going on now, and it's going to continue to go on, and we're going to get better at it.
Fact. And it's Transformation Tuesday. Like he said, we're going to continue to build, but at the same time, last February, there was a young lady here, and she was suffering from, ovarian cancer. And then I see this same queen today, and she's here. And she tell me, oh my God, I went to the doctor, and I have ovarian cancer. But it was the dedication and the work that she put in that got her healed. So the testimonies constantly roll in and out of here. Even with the group we have today, they just got here Sunday, and by yesterday getting out of that sauna, I'm seeing changes in their body because they pulling toxins and bacteria that they've been having for many years. I'm looking at a gentleman over there where he came in yesterday a lot heavier than he is today. So it's not something where this is some old gimmick or we scamming. No, I see results every single day. And I think that's the most, amazing part about healing is that you watch, like he said, people damn near die and on their deathbed, then they walk out of here 100% healthy. So for us to continue to keep that same energy that my grandfather, left, it's an incredible feeling because that's what it's about. He was about helping us. And if we continue to heal and help us and guide us in a way where, the culture is getting healthy, then we doing the work. So like Michael said, hey, we gonna keep his legacy alive. What was the topic of the day? Last week it was relationships. I thought it was gonna be some relationship stuff, but no, being here at the village is a beautiful thing because all of us, we get to embrace nature. We get to unlock our minds, from the hustle and bustle. Just hearing the stories of the individuals that's here it's incredible because everybody has a story. And being in the generation of today, everybody's constantly on the go, don't have time. But when you get here, it's like, I get to relax, I'm free, there's no hustle and bustle. So when you wake up here, it's like, well, damn, I'm used to rat racing. Here is a place of peace and love and, joy, to where now you get to unplug yourself from that, detach from the worldly things that you have going on in America, and just recharge and reboot who you are as a person. Yes. And then the herbs here is like the nastiest stuff you'll take on the planet. So now, it's showing you that life is not always sweet. It's giving you a bitter side. And then emotionally, it's going to cause you to reflect on the childhood or, some turmoil, something. The biggest hurtful thing that happened in your life is you going to reflect on it here because now you by yourself. You get to become one with nature. It's just you, birds, trees, bugs, and water. And it's like...
That summed it up.
It's like, well, you don't hear no helicopters, no sirens, no airplanes, the usual things you would hear in the city. Now you have an anxiety, you feeling uncomfortable, and it's like, well, I have to just relax and unplug all that negative energy and thoughts that I'm manifesting in my mind that's not reality. And then once you become calm, then you start looking like the young lady over here, the gentleman that was over there, and now you seeing changes, your skin is changing, you like, oh, I have this glow. What we was talking about last night at the cafe, we was talking about how the water here is different. What I was explaining to the individuals is that, yeah, the water is different because this water is coming out the ground at 150 degrees and not being treated with chemicals like fluoride or calcium to, destroy the body. So when you in the United States, that's fluoride-filled water that destroys the body, that's causing harm. So you would never be at your cleanness, or your skin will never be at its full potential. So when you get into this water, instantly it's like, this is refreshing. Oh my God, my skin feels silky. Is this, that, and the third. I have a glow. Why? Because it's natural spring water that we should have daily, but America wants to compromise us with so many chemicals. It's crazy. And that's the part where America versus a third world country, where I realize this, where this third world country that you would consider poor is richer than America in so many aspects, because they have fresh water, their air is not polluted with chemtrails, they don't have fluoride filled water, the fruits here is 100% natural, there's not genetically modified. G, we over here, bro. And he got lost. He still don't know where he at. Yeah, get to you for me. You know, we have so many different elements in the United States that alters against your health is sad. And here is like, you have fresh air, fresh water, fresh food. So looking at the elders here, they look so much more vibrant than our grandparents in the United States, because they getting sprayed like we're bugs daily with chemtrails. The water's polluted with fluoride. So it's like, how can we go to our full potential when there's that much more adversity against us? That's why it's important for you to take these minerals. That's why it's important for you to drink spring water. And that's why it's important for you to love yourself, truly. Because if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you better than you? The real question. That's you got something to say.
And I wanted to say, like, and to add on to that, that's why it's important to travel. It's important to get outside your zone, the space that you've always been in. You leave out of there, particularly not just travel within the U.S., but travel out the country and see new ideas and other ways things actually happen, and people are living longer. Like you were talking about, Asami, the blue zone. People are living into their centennials. People are living vibrant lives. So it doesn't have to be the notion and the narrative that you always see. There are other narratives out there. Yeah.
Hey, well, you know, I know, what time is it, son? How far
It's
over
time to
we went?
wrap it up.
45.
Yeah.
Hey, we glad to have had Isaiah. We're gonna have Sam out here Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday,
And
stay
Isaiah.
tuned.
So, cause we can ready to join forces. So once that happens, you guys better be prepared, cause we coming with shit. Okay. So you know, y'all get ready, cause hey man, we got a lot of good things that we trying to do, and we want to invite folks to come and participate with us. You know, I mean,
Right.
it's a family affair.
Yes.
You know, and I feel like when you show yourself as family, you are family.
Fantastic voyage.
Yes, let's get on it.
All
right, y'all.
To sum it up.
Peace out.
Peace and love.
Nothing but love.
C-Moss gang.
Well, thank you, bro.
What's you guys' Instagram?
Alchemist